Holy moly, we aren't even done through the trading day yet at the time of taking the screenshot, and NIO stock is up a whopping 22% in a single day. This now puts the valuation of NIO stock to around $32.5 billion. Absolutely massive market cap here on this Chinese EV play. But why is NIO stock up today? Was there some breaking news that we didn't see that came out on NIO? Did the company announce something new? Let's discuss what actually went down here. Now guys, as always, consider hitting that like button down below. Helps out tremendously. You guys have been on point with that recently, so let's keep that momentum going. Okay, now, serious talk. So what's happening with NIO? 20% jump in a single day. Quite significant for a company that's already over $20 billion in market cap. So there had to have been something that pushed the stock significantly higher here today. So I went over to NIO's website. I checked their news releases, expecting to see an announcement of some sort. Maybe a new vehicle, maybe some new surprising sales. You know, maybe they become profitable, who knows? But to my surprise, there was nothing on there. And the last post was actually from October 2nd, where they provided us delivery numbers for Q3 and September. So what gives? Analysts are the ones who moved this stock. Analysts have a pretty big influence in the stock market, guys. So even though they're wrong a lot of the times, you still gotta pay attention to them, especially if you're focused on short-term volatility, short-term trading, and you want opportunities to get into stocks when an analyst comes out there and downgrades a stock, for example. In this case, it was quite the opposite of a downgrade, as we could see from the price movement. So the analyst we're highlighting today is from JP Morgan Chase, and they stated that NIO could surge 85% as Tesla's China success is a rising tide that lifts all boats. This is essentially saying that as Tesla continues to do well in China and as the stock continues to succeed, it will pull the entire EV sector up as well, including NIO with it. So this morning, JP Morgan Chase came out with a strong overweight rating on NIO stock, saying that the upside could be as high as $40 per share, so we could see nearly a double up in NIO stock. And then they went on to say that in China's smart EV market, they expect NIO to be a long-term winner in the premium space among Chinese brands. So of course this is very bullish news. JP Morgan Chase, a very reputable bank here in America as well as globally, and when they come out and they say they're backing this company technically by being positive on it, you know, saying good things about it, having a strong outlook on the business, it helps with investors' confidence, whether we like it or not. It helps with hedge fund confidence, money starts flowing in, and that's what we're seeing here today in NIO stock. And JP Morgan Chase wasn't just, you know, optimistic on NIO. They seem to be very bullish, citing almost a double up in the share price from what metrics they're watching closely. So if that happens, that could be some pretty good gains here in NIO. Now it's funny, you may be thinking, JP Morgan Chase, where were they last year when the stock was like $2, $3, $5 per share? They were nowhere to be seen. There was no upgrades at that point. Why are they coming out here and upgrading it today when NIO was still around last year? Well, JP Morgan acknowledged that they missed the massive run, 438% year to date here in NIO stock, and it did have a previous neutral rating on the stock. But here's the thing, last year when NIO was trading at, you know, $2, $3, $5, $10 per share, there was a lot of pessimism around the business, and not only from a news perspective, but from a fundamental perspective as well. There was serious questions, serious doubts as to whether NIO could actually get through all their financial obligations and come out a stronger business, or even come out at all from all of that burden. Well, now looking back, we can see that yes, of course, they got past all of that. You know, they're in a much stronger financial position now. They're growing once again. They were able to raise capital. They were able to issue more shares. Everything looks to be going better now for the business compared to where it was a year ago. Naturally, when a stock is a sinking ship, especially if it has a small market cap, these large companies like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase typically don't want to go in there and tarnish their reputation by rating penny stocks. So that's probably why they weren't too vocal on NIO back then. However, now that it's, you know, $25, $30 billion company, yeah, they can go out there and say they're bullish on this stock and make a bet on this stock one way or another. Another reason JPM is bullish is because they expect the market penetration of electric vehicles to quadruple in China over the next 5 years from less than 5% to 20%, driven by a change in consumer preference and a reduction in EV prices as battery costs continue to decline. Another piece of good news is that NIO is expected to unveil a new sedan sometime in December, so that would put it in a competitive competitive position there with the Tesla Model S and Model 3, because up until now, they've only sold SUVs in China, and their entire market has pretty much been that focus really. So with a new vehicle, expansion globally eventually, this company does have a pretty bright future ahead if they can continue to execute. This could also in turn help them drive sales by 2025 to around 334,000 vehicles, which would be a pretty significant milestone for NIO to hit. So all in all, really good news here from NIO. Although there wasn't anything fundamentally that changed about the company today, there was a big name analyst that came out there, said they're bullish, and because of that, there's a lot of money flowing in. Hedge funds are probably putting money into this, large investors putting money into this, possibly even other banks putting money into this. So that's good news as a shareholder of NIO like myself. However, if I was out there looking to buy more shares of NIO, I don't know, guys. It's kind of tough here to justify this valuation. $30 billion, company that's losing a lot of money, negative gross margins, that's the big one. It's kind of hard to go out there and pay such a premium valuation on this business here today. Remember, my cost basis is under $6 per share, so quite a long ways off. I would consider adding to NIO at some point. However, at these prices, it's very difficult for me to go out there and justify that in my head. That being said, growth is expected to be around 97% this year and 75% next year. So it's nothing to sneeze at, but is it worth the valuation? I don't want to say it, but NIO is getting pretty close to bubble-like behavior, and you could argue that Tesla is as well, but they're a profitable business now. They've proven that they can actually have positive gross margins, which is something that NIO is struggling with. And at the end of the day, any company we invest in, we want them to make profits eventually at some point, and NIO hasn't shown us exactly how they plan to do that. However, the other metrics, like growth specifically, is looking good. So I'd say you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons here with this stock. Could be a good investment, could be a very risky gamble, but I would not personally have this as a large portion of my portfolio, if any. Now guys, let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me in the comment section down below. As always, love having discussions with you about these stocks in the comment section. So what are you waiting for? Get down there, comment something, and let's get this party started. Either way guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.